This is the NBC newsroom in New York with the latest news about the assassination attempt on President Kennedy. The president is in Parkland Hospital in Dallas, where an attempted assassination against him was executed about an hour ago. The president is in very critical condition. He apparently was shot in the head. Mr. Kennedy has had blood transfusions. 2 Roman Catholic priests were called to the emergency room where he is lying. We do not know who called them there. Governor John Connolly, who was in the car with the president, also was shot. He has been taken to the operating room in the hospital. An assistant to Governor Connolly said he asked him how it happened, and the governor replied, "I don't know. I guess from the back they got the president too." The governor was shot just below the shoulder blade in the back. There had been a report that Vice President Lyndon Johnson was slightly wounded. We now hear from Mrs. Lyndon Johnson, the Vice President's wife, that the Vice President is fine.
Because it takes brokenness for the corrupt human nature to understand for the first time to be humble. Because without brokenness, there is no humility. And without humility, there is no repentance. Because unless we're humble, how will I come and bow before God? Pride does not understand the language of bowing. We can't be a horse, we need to be a donkey. A horse cannot walk without its head up. A donkey cannot walk without its head down.
Aristotle Onassis was a Greek millionaire, an Illuminati king, shipping tycoon, and mafia kingpin. His grandfather, Haralampos Onassis, was a shipping entrepreneur and tobacco manufacturer who worked with the British East India Company to transport drugs. They used tobacco as the cover on Onassis' ships and made a fortune. Aristotle's father, Socrates Onassis, inherited the shipping business and sent Aristotle to the Evangelical Greek School, one of the most prestigious Greek schools at the time. By the time Aristotle was 16, he spoke 4 languages. This was not some dumb mafia figure. Aristotle was a smart, educated, intelligent person born into an affiliation with the British Empire. Aristotle had 2 children, Alexander and Christina. Alexander Onassis would perish from a plane accident and was Aristotle's only son. Christina Onassis would eventually have a child, Athina Onassis, who is alive today. Another prominent thing to note is that Stavros Niarchos, who was Aristotle's biggest competitor in the shipping world, became his brother-in-law. Nepotism at its finest, together they ruled the seas. Stavros Niarchos was part of the Bilderberg meetings in 1967 and 1968, and the Niarchos family rubs shoulders with the Rothschilds and the Rockerfellers and remains one of the most elite families today. It has been rumored that Aristotle Onassis was the head of the international mafia crime scene and the biggest of them all. According to the Gemstone file, Aristotle had mob interactions with the Rockefellers, Henry Kissinger, and connections to the Watergate break-in. It also states how he was involved in the assassination of JFK, which led to him marrying Jackie Kennedy. Simply put, Aristotle Onassis was a mafia god.